Hi, everyone. I hit record on the computer instead of the cloud. I had to fix that. Anyways, I'm talking to you about how to set up your face for your makeup. And so I'm going to talk about 5 products that I use religiously every time I do my makeup. So my first one being my foundation primer. Now, my foundation primer is a must. And as you can see, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need a new tube soon. But this has SPF 15 in it, so it's not going to add to your, like, I'm wearing moisturizer with SPF 30, so it's not going to make my moisturizer 45, but what it does is it prolongs the protection I have against the incidental sun. So a little goes a long way. So what I normally do is put just a tiny bit on my finger and kind of dot it around and then rub it in. And it dries to like a really silky, kind of matte finish. And you just need a little bit. So 2 dots, the size I showed you on my finger. And if you were to like keep rubbing, so I'm not touching my face, I'm just showing you the motion. If I were to keep doing that too much, it might ball up. So you don't want to use too much product and you don't want to rub too much. You just kind of want to rub till it's silky soft. It smells a little bit like chocolate. I don't know what that is. It's not a fragrance. It's the ingredients in it. And what that does is it smooths out your pores. So if you have, like most people have larger pores, maybe around their nose, or in this area, especially if you had acne as a teenager, as I did. So that fills in and gives you an even finish, so that your makeup will wear smoother and just look more finished. Okay. And it also is going to prolong the wear. So then the next product I'm going to show you is our 3D matte foundation. Now, I said I'm oily, so you can see it's got a little purple square here with my color. I'm Ivory W150. So your consultant can actually match you. So the W stands for the undertone. I have a warm undertone. I do have, even though as fair as I am, I have some olive and yellow in my skin tone. And so that's more warm versus a pink or a neutral undertone. Ivory, because that is my skin tone. And then you're going to be either ivory, beige, or bronze. And then there's a number 150, which is like where I'm at on the ivory scale. Okay. I also like the matte because I like a powder finish, but there's luminous, which gives great coverage too. It's just more of a luminous finish, and I would recommend that for our dry skin clients because they need a little bit of glow. My skin makes its own glow with my oiliness, so so I like that matte finish. Okay, so those are just some questions to ask either your beauty consultant if you're a customer watching, or beauty consultants, you can ask your customers this. You know, if they burn easily in the sun or if they tan, that will help you decide if they're warm, cool, or neutral. If they burn easily, like get pink right away, then they're probably a cool undertone. If they really kind of stay the same, they might be a neutral undertone. And then if they tan, well, they're a warm undertone. And then you want to pick the color. So looking at them, are they ivory, beige, or bronze? And then go from there. And we usually do stripe tests. And you want to stripe right here along the neck so that you can make sure you don't have a line here. Our necks do tend to be a lot lighter. So I am going to show you with our blending brush. So now this brush is a very tight woven brush, and I just put my makeup right on top of that foundation primer. And you want to always put foundation on in a downward motion. And kind of in this chin area, I do kind of go side to side, but when you're finishing your stroke, you want to go down. And a little goes a long way. It's kind of hard to see in this mirror, so I'm gonna just hold a little mirror kind of towards my camera so I can see what I'm doing a little better. I love this brush because it gives really a finished look, and the makeup goes right on, you know, where I want it. You do want to clean the brush. I clean mine weekly. And this brush gets a lot of foundation kind of packed in there. So if you have the time to clean it every day that you use it, that's even better. I just noticed that I get lazy about it. So as long as you do it weekly, you should be good. All right. So again, getting all the little spots. And your foundation will like take, you could do 2 layers. So if I had felt like, oh, I have a lot of things to cover, I could do a second layer. Sometimes I get some blemishes in this area. This is hormonal. So if I have some hormones going on, and I might want to do extra, like I see like a little spot. So you can use concealer, but one thing I can do is just take a little of my foundation and dab it in the area that I want like a little extra coverage. And I'm dabbing because it kind of thins it out. You can use a sponge to do that too, but I'm just showing you like quick and easy. These are 5 products I never go without. All right, then after my foundation is on, I want to let it like oxidize. So when our foundation comes on, when it first hits the air out of the tube, the color might be slightly different. So when you put it on your skin, you kind of got to let it settle. So while that's happening, I like to pull out our under eye corrector. Now, I really don't have big dark circles under here, but I do have a deep socket. And we learned from Louis Costco a little trick. So you can put your under eye corrector in a couple of places. You can do like a little V here. Like if you have dark circles, that's what I would do, that little under V, okay? And so sometimes if I'm tired or like it looks especially dark, I'll do that. But what Louise taught us, so if you have this like hollow area right here, put a little bit right in there, kind of turn so a little bit on the outside corner and a little bit on the inside corner. So just get a little bit on your wand and put it in there. And then I take my liquid brush, my either it's a cream color brush, and just kind of thin it out a little bit there. So it's like a tapping motion. You could use a blending, like a wet blending sponge too. And I'm gonna just spread this around. So you can either use a brush or a blending sponge. Make sure if you're using one of those beauty blenders that it's wet, okay, because it does move the makeup a little bit better that way. Because I'm getting so close to my eyeliner, I like to use my cream color brush. Okay, so I'm just thinning this out. So I'm not doing anything with the brush except for kind of dabbing it into place and moving this around. But because I'm so close to my eye, I like to use the brush because then I can get really right by where my liner is going to go. And this, remember, this is just base makeup. Whatever I'm going to put on my face for color is going to go right over it. So I want it not to be visible. So I wanted to brighten the area. I already see that it's brighter, but I don't want to wipe it away. Okay, so you want to do this whole patting motion to get the makeup into your into where you want it. So you can, like I said, you can use a brush like a cream color brush. Also, I want to point out if you're using a cream color brush for eye color, cream eye color, you need a second one, or you might have like some glitter on it from the eye color. So I always have one for my concealer under eye corrector and then one for eye color. If I'm going to use a brush, it's a separate one because there are some little glitter like particles in our cream eye color. And when we're doing concealer or under eye corrector, we don't want to draw attention to that, right? We're concealing. So I definitely have one, even though I wash it, I have one that I only use for concealer and under eye corrector. And then the last thing I do before I start doing my eye colors and my cheek color and all that is I use some powder. And so these are my 2 favorites. This one is our translucent loose powder. And as you can see, it is like an iridescent kind of white color. It's really clear when it goes on your face. So what I like to do is put a little bit in the lid. Okay. And I also like a little extra coverage. So I use I use Ivory 2. This is our loose mineral powder. Because it's going over foundation, it's not providing all the coverage. It's just like another layer. And the translucent loose is, and again, it has this little locking system so you don't have a big old mess. And you just unlock it, and then I put a little bit in the lid. And then I take my big powder brush and I pick up the mineral powder and some of the translucent loose together, and I kind of blotch it all over my face like this. Okay, so I'm doing, don't wear a black shirt when you're doing this, it's all over your clothes. So I put a little bit in each lid, kind of splotched around. It looks like a big mess. But what I like about this is it will connect to my foundation and I can dust away the excess and I have this really nice powdery finish. And let me just make sure I got it all. And then I just dust away the excess. So I have a really good base for my makeup. And now I can do my color and my face looks pretty flawless. And I didn't have to spend a lot of time, right? If you have oilier skin, you want to use some kind of powder. If you don't really need any coverage, this powder by itself is fine. But because I like that finished, like flawless look, I want my face to not show any blemishes. I also always just mix this in. So I have the light, the little light fused iridescent powder mixed with my powder that's creating some coverage, plus both have the talc to absorb the oil in my skin. So there you have it. There's my 5 products that you need to have for base makeup. And then you can go ahead and do whatever shadow, cheek color, any kind of contouring from there. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. And you can get all those products from your consultant. Just message her or check out her website. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.